Blockchain gaming just crossed a line, and most companies didn't notice. With over 7 million daily active wallets and a new federal push toward a strategic Bitcoin reserve, the US isn't resisting Web3 anymore. It's regulating it. That means one thing: decentralized immunity is over. From tokenized game economies to DAO casinos, legal risk is scaling just as fast as user growth. So the question is, are you building a game or a regulated financial system? Blockchain gaming has definitively moved beyond its experimental roots and into a phase of institutional integration. Governments, financial institutions, and regulators are now actively shaping how these platforms operate. What was once a fringe innovation is becoming a formally recognized segment of the global digital economy. The administration's Responsible Growth Framework signals a major shift toward legitimizing digital assets. Initiatives like a strategic Bitcoin reserve and national stockpiles reinforce long-term commitment. Blockchain gaming is now operating within a financial system that regulators are actively building, not resisting. The creation of a formal public-private working group marks a structural turning point. This isn't just policy signaling, it's regulatory infrastructure in action. For companies, this means clearer expectations, but also less room for ambiguity or avoidance. The long-standing assumption that decentralization offers legal protection is rapidly eroding. Regulators are increasingly focused on outcomes, not architecture. Companies must now operate under the expectation that accountability applies regardless of technological design. Blockchain gaming has seen explosive adoption, with over 7 million daily active wallets recorded in early 2025. This surge represents not just user enthusiasm, but meaningful market validation. Growth at this scale naturally draws regulatory attention and oversight. For the first time, regulatory signals and market behavior are moving in the same direction. This alignment is reshaping how platforms approach user engagement and compliance. Companies must now build with both scalability and legal durability in mind. The federal government is expanding its digital asset strategy through coordinated initiatives and oversight bodies. These include task forces and structured policy frameworks. The message is clear: digital assets are becoming embedded in national economic planning. Companies are no longer operating in a purely uncertain regulatory environment. Instead, they are being given defined compliance pathways and expectations. While this reduces unpredictability, it also raises the stakes for getting compliance wrong. Blockchain gaming models are evolving beyond speculative play-to-earn mechanics. Platforms are now prioritizing user retention, gameplay value, and sustainable ecosystems. This shift reflects a broader move toward long-term viability over short-term hype. Major players in the space are transitioning from hype-driven NFT launches to structured ecosystem development. This includes deeper integration of utility and community engagement. The industry is maturing into something far more durable and regulated. If you're building in Web3 or gaming, now's the time to stay ahead of the law. Like this video, subscribe to Gamma Law, and turn on notifications. We break down the legal shifts shaping the future of digital industries. Blockchain games are increasingly functioning like financial systems rather than pure entertainment products. Token economies, staking, and DAO governance introduce financial complexity. This naturally attracts regulators who treat these systems as economic infrastructure. As value flows increase across these platforms, AML and KYC obligations are expanding rapidly. Identity verification is becoming standard practice rather than optional. Companies must balance regulatory demands with user expectations around decentralization and privacy. A unified federal regulatory framework is beginning to take shape. This may replace fragmented state-level rules with more consistent national standards. However, it will likely introduce new licensing requirements and compliance burdens. Tax authorities are increasing their scrutiny of digital asset activity. The IRS now expects detailed transaction-level reporting across platforms. This shift places both users and operators under heightened financial transparency obligations. Blockchain gaming increasingly intersects with both securities law and gambling regulation. Tokenized rewards and randomized mechanics blur traditional legal categories. This creates complex, overlapping compliance challenges for developers and operators. International regulatory frameworks, including Europe's MiCA, are influencing global standards. Companies must now think globally while executing compliance locally. This creates operational complexity that requires careful strategic planning. Cybersecurity failures are no longer just technical incidents, they are legal liabilities. Regulators treat breaches and exploits as governance failures. This means security must be integrated into both engineering and legal strategy. AI-driven fraud and exploitation tactics are becoming more sophisticated. Attackers are leveraging automation to exploit vulnerabilities in real time. Companies must respond with equally advanced detection, prevention, and legal risk management systems. Technologies like zero-knowledge proofs and advanced cryptography enhance transparency and trust. However, they do not replace legal accountability. Regulators expect compliance frameworks that extend beyond technical solutions. Compliance is no longer a cost center, it is a strategic advantage. Companies that prioritize transparency, governance, and trust will outperform competitors. In this environment, credibility is becoming the most valuable asset in blockchain gaming. If your platform is navigating token economies, compliance, or cross-border risk, reach out at gammalaw.com/contact. Subscribe to Gamma Law for more deep dives into gaming, Web3, and emerging tech law. So you're not reacting to regulation, you're building ahead of it. For more insights like this, click into our Web3 and digital assets playlist. We break down the legal frameworks shaping the next generation of platforms.